First off, hello, Flying Shine. Welcome to the fun. You're not having this, Carrot House. It's mine. I wrote it. I composed it. It's all mine. Just like you're not getting your hands on my palm, or your palm on my hands, whichever way it is. Hello, hello, hello. Right. Fun things today. I've got the battery for my palm. And I've been given a new motherboard and processor to do what I want with. So we'll see if that works. And as a bonus that I wasn't expecting to be doing, I was just fiddling with the modem for the Palm, and I noticed that it has a little compartment on the back. And levering this off, how'd you like them batteries? So I think I need to be... Oh, stupid camera. I think I need to be cleaning that a bit. You're not having it. If it were yours, you'd have noticed it. I did notice it. I just haven't had time to fondle it until now. So yes, the battery has arrived in a large box. Tiny battery. Not as high a capacity as the original. This one's only a 500 apparently, whereas it was 650 the original, I believe. If I can get into this box. There we go. One tiny little battery. And there's the original. Hopefully they're the same. They look to be the same connector anyway. As long as the polarity is the same, I'm sure it'll do nicely. Use my camera's lens by manually focusing it when it's on autofocus. Right. Let me just check before I plug it in. Yeah, the polarity is the same way around. Pays to double check these things with these cheap batteries. Doesn't want to go in the hole. Why won't it go in the hole? Because the connectors are very slightly different. Great. Listed as being compatible with the VX, but the connector is not quite right. Uploaded my latest video to YouTube and it was extremely choppy with the audio issues. Went back and looked at the original files and the rendered files, zero issues. So frustrating. Restarted the computer, re-rendered, no difference. When I uploaded to YouTube, it's still bad in the same spots as the video. You then used Chrome and it fixed most of the issues. Oh, right. Weird. I don't know why. Is it in a playback issue, perhaps? Or was it the upload? I could see it being a playback issue, possibly, with Firefox. I should, hopefully, be able to just swap the pins over in these two connectors. That's got to be worth a try. I've got the wrong glasses on and I can't see what I'm doing. And I don't know where my other glasses are. They've disappeared. Okay, I can get that out. Right. Let's see if I can get these pins to cooperate from this one. Oh, Edge. Well, I mean, who knows with Edge? But at the end of the day, Edge is Chrome. They use the same engine in it. That's very weird. Come on, you. Out you come. There we go. Can I hold in? No, it's not. And see how different these are. That's got a little pin poking up on the back. So has that. In my mind, they look the same, so it should go in and stay in. It was released earlier today. I got fed up of waiting and released it. Right, I think that's in. Hopefully it's going to hold long enough for me to plug it in. No, I did it the other way around actually. I recorded the audio first and then I spent a couple of days just collecting together enough footage to fill that time. Get this the right way around. Right, that's in now. But not quite happy. I'm going to just push these pins here slightly. Make sure they're properly in and engaged. That should make sure they hold in place. And we have life. We have life. It's just a case of making sure you record enough footage. Plenty was thrown away and left on the cutting room floor. So as long as you've got enough footage to cover, you're okay. Right. Turn this off for a minute, if it will. I am happy with that. It works. It is not your palm. But now I need to get the back on and staying on, because of course it was glued on before, and I've now got to remove and replace all the glue from around the edge, which is fun to say the least. What have I got? Scrape glue off carefully. Try a Stanley knife. It's quite thick, this layer of glue. I'm surprised they didn't use double-sided tape of some form rather than glue, because this is really, really solidly stuck on. You can have this when I've finished with it if, and only if, A, you pay for postage, and B, you pay me £3,000. No, I need something more scraper-like. For my little metal spudger tool. That's better. Get in and scrape it off without damaging it with this. And the rest. For you, I'll round it up to 6 and whatever number that is after it. How many numbers is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You all round it up to 600 million. This is horrible stuff, this glue. Gone quite hard. Nope, not in the slightest. When they put the back on this thing, they really did not want you to take it off again and get in and maintain the system. beeping at me. I thought that was plan B. For a modern PC, I think there is modern replacement open source software that runs on a modern PC, but you would need a USB to RS-232 adapter for it. Or you do what I do and get an old computer. Oh, that's coming off nicely there now. Tell you what, Carrot House, you can have this Palm if you can get me Jout's HP Vectra with the BLP card in it. How's that for a trade? I think I've got enough of that off there now. Don't need to get it all off, I just need to make sure it's fairly smooth. It's the back that's got the most of it on. This is stuck and a half. Judging by the silence from Carrot House, I guess he's on a work call or being called away by work. He keeps disappearing midstream. Might need to get the big guns out on this. That is not moving at all. One moment. Oh, that would be nice. That should get it off. Hopefully it doesn't damage anything else. Spot of acetone. Now, cotton wool buds in acetone, are they going to explode or just dissolve? Fortunately, this back plate is metal, otherwise there's no way I would be using acetone on it. See that it's dissolving it all already. No, it's fine. Just this one little bit over here is creeping its way over, isn't it? If it'll put your mind at ease, I'll move it well away. Look at that, it just turns it into mush and it peels right off. Great stuff, acetone. Nasty stuff. Should really have gloves on, but it likes to dissolve gloves as well. stubborn little bit here. The acetone down into it though, and it soon turns to mush. There we go. We got that vector yet? Oh, you missed the vector chat. Oh. I said if you can have this palm and all its accoutrements if you can get me Jout's Vectra with the BLP card. Is there anything you don't want? You're sounding like me now. Do I want it? Yes. Almost clean. It's got these crusty bits down in here to sort out. I'm using acetone, 99.5% pure. Vicious stuff. If this weren't metal, I wouldn't be using it. Show you it. Lumps of glue stuck all over the back of it now, though. I can get those off later. Right, let's just clean the lid out on this. Oh, absolutely. That's what this bottle's for. So this will take off all the print as well. And I'm also doing the desk, just in case. There we go. I'm happy with that. And that one's reasonably clean. I love the smell of IPA in the morning and in the evening. And next, I've got some glue that I'm hoping is similar. Impact glue, impact adhesive. Horrible glue, this. Hate it. Worse than hot glue for leaving trails of stuff around. And there goes the camera again. I don't shouldn't do that. About 5 to 10 minutes before sticking it together. I have no idea what Folgers is. It must be something American. Folgers is a foreign language to me. It's rubbish then, is it? Instant crap. If it doesn't get fresh ground from a bean, I don't want to know. I have become a bit of a coffee snob recently. I say recently, within the past few years. McDonald's coffee is not coffee. McDonald's coffee is ground up dirt. Right, while that's setting, I like... My most common coffee I drink is actually the cheapest coffee that I can get from Lidl. Costs about £3 for a half-kilo block. But it's brilliant coffee. Where are all my small screwdrivers? They have all disappeared. Oh, 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 oh! No, I'm thick. I am so thick. I stuck them all in my other toolkits the other day to go and do a job. I've got all my screwdrivers here. Along with all sorts of other things I'm going to need today. There we go. But I still don't know where my good glasses are though. Right, let's have a look at cleaning up this while we're waiting for the glue. There's no screw in that screw hole. Oh, it's empty. The But has been in here before. Now this is a modem. The RJ11 connector there for the landline. The arm goes in there and it lets you connect it to this newfangled thing called interweb. There she blows. Now, to try and sort out this lovely greenness on here. Ew. Crusty. Well, it is basically an entire modem. A serial modem, because the only communication that the Palm has with anything else is through its serial port, so it's basically an entire serial modem compressed down with some other connector there that I have no idea what it is. Right, time to get out another liquid. I believe so, yes. The maximum speed the Palm can communicate on its serial port apparently is 56k. So, yeah, I think it's a 56k modem. Let's start off by fizzing it up with some vinegar. Oh, bubbly. Lovely bubbly. Neutralise that alkali. One of the best parts of this job is bubbling up vinegar. Like being back at school and doing chemistry lessons. No, because you keep trying to steal all my bits. IRDA modems. Oof, that's a good question. That's not something I've ever thought of. Looking much cleaner already. Smells like a chip shop now, though. if I can take this out safely. Yep. There's no corrosion on that. Bit of extra corrosion down on this contact here, though. I'm not sure what the maximum throughput of IRDA is anyway, is it? Not going to be as fast as 56, is it? GPRS over IRDA. Well, that's going to be pretty slow anyway, isn't it, GPRS? When I glanced up just now, I thought that said GPS over IRDA. I thought, GPS over IRDA? What would be the point of that? I know where the GPS modem is, but not me. GPS receiver. No, GPRS. General Packet Radio Service. Right, I think that's got all the green off. Can I get this any lighter? I can't really get this any lighter at the moment. Those contacts look nice and shiny now. Hey, President. How you doing? Tried GPRS with a PCM CIA GSM card on the Apple Newton, and that did surprisingly work. Well, PCM CIA is pretty reliable stuff. I guess anything IRDA is going to be prone to exactly how you're angling your device, put it crudely. Right, let's give this a bit of a treatment with some IPA. Clean everything off. No, it doesn't. No. It doesn't have anything except its strange little serial connection and IRDA. And zero expandability at all. Which kind of sucks, because you can't add any more flash to it or anything. There we go. That's all looking much nicer now. Nice and clean. And I think I shall switch back now to sorry, no, the Scion had PCMCIA. No, that did have expansion. Yes, that had an expansion slot on the side. I used to have a 3C back in the day, which was gorgeous. Every single 3C that I've seen online now, every single one, the hinges have all gone in exactly the same way. I would quite like a new 3C. Right, let's get this back in place now. Guess I should set it up really, shouldn't I? Now that it's got its new battery. Time now is 19:49. And the date is 2023. October the, where are we? 26th. Nope, that was wrong. Did it at a strange angle so that you can see. Yes, it is odd that it defaults to that because nobody really uses 24-hour in the UK. It is a beautiful display on here. It's only 160 by 160, but zoomed in as I can get on it. Just the right angle, and it really does look good. You are not having it, Carrot House. That is all working pretty much perfectly, so long as the back stays on. So what I'm going to do is sit on top of it, my power bank, just to give it a little bit of pressure for a while. Electroluminescence is gorgeous stuff. Let's just give this a quick once over, make sure that nothing has gone awry around the battery area. Get a magnifier for me to have a look at it with. Bit of corrosion on the pad where the battery connects just here, but nothing untoward. Looks clean around that, that's good. I might just put a little touch of vinegar on this pad. Just in case. Not sure that's doing anything at all, really. See if I can this to show anything at all. Trying to. If that's actually corroded the Enig away from the pad there at all. It might have done. It might have actually removed little circles of metal or squares of metal from the pad itself. Hard to tell. Very hard to tell. I might have to see if the microscope will behave today. That does look like it's lacking in, come back, lacking in Enig and even lacking in copper in places. Too bad, some of it, but yeah, that might be iffy when it comes to making contact with the battery. That could be difficult. I wonder. In my tape box, I do have some copper tape. I'm wondering if it's worth just putting a layer of copper tape over this pad. I think it's conductive from one side to the other, even with the adhesive. Let me just get my... Oh, look at that lovely psychedelic pattern from the polarizer. I'm going to have to zoom down on that, I think, and trip out for a moment. Right, where's my probes? Enough of that. Over here. Okay, that beeps. What I want to test is, does this conduct from one side to the other? No, it doesn't. That's unfortunate. It conducts along the surface, but not the back. The adhesive in the way. It's non-conductive adhesive. That's a pain. Actually, let's just have a look. See if this in the center is contacting. Now is when I wish I had my other glasses on. That is beeping whenever I touch it, wherever I touch it. So I think that is actually going to be good throughout. And if I sweep across, I get constant beep. So I think we'll be good on there. I don't think it's done enough damage to need a repair. That's good. Actually, which contact is that on? That's on the positive. Surprise, surprise. So I might be able to do a continuity test. Between the positive on here and maybe this capacitor, or maybe not. Continuity there, that's good. I think we're good for that. Yes, the beep, I've got noise cancellation on because I've got the microphone is here and my network switch is there and my amplifier is there. So you got microphone, amplifier, network switch. The amplifier is pumping out heat and the network switch is getting hot and its fan gets loud. So to keep that fan noise at bay, I've got noise cancellation on. I could turn it off, but that's complicated. That requires thinking about. Right, I think we're almost there. This just needs a bit of a clean up. There's some fuzziness down in here from the battery. Just a brushing should do it. Oh, one thing I forgot. There's a little button in the front here. Ah. At the moment, I'm not going to test the modem. I do want to see if I can build my own little telephone system. There is a project, I think it's for the Raspberry Pi, which emulates a telephone line. So I would like to see about building that at some point. But I would like to expand it out to support I would like to expand it out to support multiple phone lines and DTMF dialing and yes, landline only this. Well, I say landline only. It does have this connector on the side, which I have no clue what it is. It looks like the connector you get on some mobile phones, but pass. I don't actually have a manual to look it up, see what that connector does. Right, does this work? Yeah, that's all lined up okay. guess dial-up internet does still have its role in some places, but we're getting so flooded now with fibre optics in the UK that there's just a lot of people now haven't got a landline, or if they have got a landline, it's VoIP over fibre, and very often that doesn't provide enough fidelity for a modem. Right, one last bit is the crusty lid. That's a Canadian flag I see there. No, you are not having it, Carrot House. Just because it's got a Canadian flag. That is very crusty, that. How could you not? How could you not? Now what do I want for this? I'm gonna have to use some vinegar, I think. I don't want much. I don't want to destroy this label if I can help it. Fizzing up nicely there. Looking much better already now. Wipe off. Right off a bit. This end. The i92 Plus. That's one of the little handheld programmables, isn't it? I did have, when I was at college, one of these small handheld programmable computers. But I can't for the life of me remember which one it was, and they all look the same. So I see one and I think, oh, that's the one I had. Then I see a completely different one and I think, oh no, is that the one I had? I wasn't going to get this palm, but you guys told me I had to, so I did. So it's all your fault that I have it. That looks pretty clean now. Clean enough anyway. There. I'm happy that that's back in one piece and clean inside now. This sticking. Seems to be sticking quite well. Now that this has battery power, I can actually use it, hopefully, with the keyboard. Because there's no power pass through for the keyboard as far as I can make out. So the only way it can be used is with the internal battery of the Palm. So, is there anything I have to do to get the keyboard working, or does it just work? Keeps wanting to sync. I press a button on the keyboard and it goes sync. I've just realised you can't see what's going on here, can you? It's stuck in syncing now. See if we can get you a different view. Home. System. Perhaps there isn't really a settings on here as such. As soon as I press any key on the keyboard, it just goes trying to sync. I change that to infrared. Maybe that'll stop it trying to sync. Nope. In preferences, there's nothing relating to the keyboard. Available configurations. Oh. How to do syncing? No. No network. I see nothing relating to keyboard in here at all. I have batteries in the keyboard. I'm not aware that there are batteries for the keyboard. Let's go back to top-down view. Keyboard is in 4 sections. There's no slots on the back. That's nothing in there at all. That's just the holder for the palm. I did see something about keyboard drivers on the PalmDB site earlier, and I was wondering if maybe drivers were needed. Let me quick browse around. Stupid camera. It's supposed. I thought I'd found a way to keep it from switching itself off. That looks like it might be it. The Palm Portable Keyboard Driver. Multiple different versions of the software. Let me just open this up. OBS running on here, don't I? That certainly looks like the keyboard, or a version of it. Same little red bits on the side here. Various different versions of it by the looks of things. Hoping that one is what I want. Go into FS as data, software, and Palm. Yeah, it's when I need to mount a second drive for copying stuff from one drive to another. I do things very manually on Linux. Where are we? What am I doing now? I want to go back to here again. Right. Let's get my little laptop up. I've not got the Palm software on here at the moment. I didn't want to drag out a big old XP computer again. I thought I'd set it up on my 98 laptop. Right, let's plug in the... Oh, stop beeping. Plug in the cradle. I shall want a network connection. On the software. Let's give you some glorious Windows 98 audio, shall we? Which is on here. Can't see. There is no label. Maybe it's on the battery, which is down here somewhere. Or I'll just plug it in randomly and hope. Something which is not going to come under copyright match. Oh, there's something coming through, I think. Yep, hearing that. With this laptop is it's got a Yamaha DX sound card in it, so the MIDI on it sounds absolutely beautiful. Anyway, that's a bit of a tangent. What I actually want is ARM software. This is the Satellite Pro 4200, or 42 something or other. It's the 4200 series. And the sound card in it is, it took me a long time to actually get it working, trying to find the right drivers for it, but it sounds absolutely beautiful. It's one of the nicest sound cards I've ever heard on a laptop. I shall not register. No, I don't want to configure mail at the moment. It's a Yamaha XG. Can't remember exactly which one it is. Buttons on this don't work too well either at the moment. So I really need a mouse. Where is my mouse? Yes, once I've got my mouse plugged in, I'll be able to use the right mouse button. There's so many things wrong with this laptop. But it didn't cost me anything, so I'm not complaining. Oh, where are we? There it is. Right. The DSXG PC audio codec legacy sound system. Not really much you can see in Device Manager on 98, unfortunately. But if I just go and look on my archive here, got all the drivers archived away here, and it is the no, it doesn't tell me. I did know what model number it was, but I can't remember offhand. It's not listed in here. I got it in here still. The YMF744B, that was it. No, it's all integrated, all built in. All built into the motherboard. Has its own built-in Yamaha DSXG. Right, I have installed that. Now I need the arm in the cradle. I need power to the cradle. Stop beeping. There we go. Yes, when I first got this laptop working, I was absolutely blown away when I saw it had an XG. And I used to have an XG sound card, just the MIDI part of it as an extra card in my system. In fact, the intro music was done, I believe, on I had a combination of an OR. I think if I had the OR32 or the OR64 at that point, I made that music decades ago. It was either an OR32 or an OR64, I can't remember which, and the Yamaha DSXG MIDI card. And that's what I used to make the intro and outro music decades ago. Actually, just thinking about it, this laptop's got infrared on it, so I could possibly get it to communicate to the palm with infrared. theoretically, if I press the sync button, goes the loop and synchronizes. That's a great thing with these palms. There were never any hassles, not like some of the systems which were a pain to get to synchronize. Just plug it in, press the button, bam, off it goes. Never had a problem with palms. Scion I seem to have memories of struggling with at times. Right, I need to get this keyboard driver on now, don't I? But it's an ISO file at the moment, so I shall unzip it with 7-zip. See what's on it. See if I can get to it on here. Working today. Nope. Have I got I've actually got a network connection. I can't read that. Ah, no, that's wrong network. That's the old network. I'm on the other one now, aren't I? So ipconfig / release all. That's got the network from when I was doing the 3com modem thing. ipconfig / renew all. And I should get a proper IP. That's better. Going to let me in. There we go. Right. Software. Palm. Keyboard. Let's copy that across. Okay. Not seeing anything much there. I think something didn't work properly here. Access is denied. Let's try this again. There we go, that's better. Less people in Canada than there is in the UK, and Canada's about 100 times bigger. This is looking better. Okay. No, I don't want to register. Oh, that installed something. Synchronize, it's installing an application. You now need to reset your handheld computer by tapping the button below. Ooh, that's looking hopeful. What happens now if I plug this in to the keyboard? Let's try memo pad. Get this to be displayed on here at all in such a way that I can actually use it at the same time as film it. Hey, it works! I can now type as per normal on the palm. Fantastic. Haha, I am chuffed with that. I can see myself sitting in meetings now taking notes using my palm. Looking very retro. Everyone coming up to me afterwards saying, "What was that you were using?" That is gorgeous. I have re-fallen in love with the palm all over again now. There's even less chance of you ever getting it now, Carrot House. Now the keyboard's working, there is zero chance of it ever going to Canada. There is a couple of other things I do want to try though. Because also I have downloaded a couple of other applications. What resolution is this in at the moment? Because I'm struggling to read it. That is 8x6. It's just that I'm seeing it in a tiny window at the moment. Maybe I shall... No, wrong mouse. Maybe I shall just blow this up a bit on this screen. Full screen projector. That's better. I can sort of see it. Oh, that's a bit grotty, that, to look at. I should be able to get a better view than that. running in 800 by 600 on there. Ah, that's the point. What's this capturing in? That's why. 800 by 600. That should be better. Nope. What is it? Let's just. Has that crashed? Has, hasn't it? I think I've crashed the capture card somehow. Wonderful. No, it's the cheap Chinese imported capture card that did it. Actually, that's USB 3, it should be. Unless. Not as simple as cable's fallen out, is it? No. No, it does not want to come back to life. Let's switch to that and then back to that. Try a different resolution. Nope, we've lost capture. Joy. Okay. Bear with me one sec. I'm going to need a new HDMI cable. Every form of video cable you can imagine except HDMI. Oh, what's that one? That'll do. Bring the extra round to the front. And I should now have, there we go. Different capture device altogether now. size right now. Ooh, what's gone on with the picture quality now? Or is that the Extron? No. Cursed. Absolutely cursed. Actually, I know what I didn't try that I could have tried. This is actually on a USB interface. So why don't I just unplug and plug back in that USB interface? And now I might be able to switch back to that device. There we go. That's how it should be, a bit, kind of. Um, 800 by 600. I don't think I can get a decent. Yeah, the capture dongle had crashed basically, and I forgot that I could just unplug it and plug it back in again. And I was going through all this rigmarole of finding another one and trying to get that working, and then it just hit me. Unplug it, plug it back in again, carry on, because I'm thick. 800 by 600. I set the size to be 800 by 600. That's the exact match size. That's doubled. But of course, it's too big for the screen. 1200 by 900 is 1.5, which gives us a bit of choppiness about it. So what I'll do, let's drop to 640 by 480. Change the capture to 640 by 480. To align. And transform. By 480 becomes 1280 by 960. And that's much better. Colours might be a bit off. Not my fault in here. No, 32-bit. Oh well, it's good enough. Right, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, I've got a couple of other applications here that I'd like to install and try on the Palm, including Linux. Believe it or not, Linux. Let's have a look. I've also got Zork as well. Got to try Zork on everything. Let's see if we can get Linux going on the Palm. From what I understand, it's not actually usable for anything, but it's something you've just got to try anyway. Right. Theoretically, this will erase all data, whatever. There's no data on there. Well, I don't know if it's doing anything. One. Unable to open, probably because of hotsync running. Linux. Very little Linux, but Linux nonetheless. There's nothing there really, just the ability to do an LS. That's pretty much all. Not even sure there's a cat. There you go. There is just nothing there. It's not usable at all for anything now. Now I have no idea how you get out of Linux on here now. Because the digitizer doesn't do anything. Try and exit the shell, it just gives you a new shell. But the digitizer is completely dead. None of the buttons there work. Buttons on the front panel don't do anything. Contrast button doesn't do anything. Even the power button doesn't do anything. Reboot. And it's wiped the system clean, as it said it would. It's even reset the time. Date. Time's correct. Date is lost. That was fun anyway. I don't think I'll be doing that again. Let's load the Hotsync Manager again. It's on charge. That's what that symbol is, because it's in the cradle at the moment. What am I doing looking up there? Yes. Get me back. I've knocked the camera up into the stratosphere. Yes, because it's sat in the cradle and it's all powered up, so it's charging the battery at the moment. And reboot. No, that said it was interrupted. Did I interrupt that then? I might have done. Okay, there we go. Get that going in time. We should get the keyboard drive and everything working again. That's nearly 9 o'clock and I'm only halfway through what I want to do. I haven't even looked at this motherboard yet. Just to play with yet, just to see if it works. It'll only take a couple of moments, this. It'll either work or it won't. And if it does, not really much to see on it. Need to reset. Right, let's bring up the Install tool. Software. Both of those files want installing. Wrong button. Synchronize. Right, now, do we have Robnets? Hey, you are standing in an open field west of a white house with a boarded front door. There is a small mailbox here. Classic. I can't do graffiti. What's L? That's what I was doing. Open mailbox. Opening the small mailbox reveals a leaflet. Oh, brilliant. I need the keyboard for this. It's not going to be easy to see, is it? Focus. There we go. Right. Maybe I can't. Oh yeah, there we go. It's just not quite locked into position. Falling apart a bit on there. Something has snapped on the keyboard. Not holding it quite straight. That's better. And the spacebar is a bit wonky too. Zork is a game at adventure, danger, and low cunning. In it, you will explore some of the most amazing territory ever seen by mortals. No computer should be without one. Ah. You are facing the north side of a white house. There is no door here, and all the windows are boarded up. To the north, a narrow path winds through the trees north. This is a path winding through a dim... Yeah, you all know Zork. Zork on the palm. I shall have hours of fun with that. But yes, there seems to be a slight bit missing from the cradle of the keyboard here. Slightly broken off on this side. I think that it's not a showstopper, it's still usable. But it might be a possibly a baking soda and super glue job, that maybe, to build that up again. Possible. Not sure. But I'll say it's not a showstopper, it does still work. Right. Move on. We must move on. Make haste. We haven't got all night. And has that camera died again? Or have I unplugged something? I'm having no end of trouble with things tonight. Let's turn the camera off and on again. No. I think I must have nudged something while I was messing around with the Extron. Feels fine. That's that cable there. Oh, I just wanted me to open the settings and then it would just suddenly appear. Okay, right, back to it again. Oh yes, let's just shut down my... Now now the VGA capture's not working again. Oh well, let's just yank the power out of the Toshiba. Oh, and I've sunk as well again. Oh, I'm going to need the capture for this though, aren't I? Okay. Now, is this going to work for 5 minutes? Or am I cursed by it now? Right. The desk camera is still working, that's good. A friend of mine handed me this motherboard just yesterday and said, "Do you want this?" So I said yes. No idea what's on it. No idea if it works. All I know is it's AMD and it's GeForce. No, not GeForce, Gigabyte. GeForce, what am I on? And is this a suitable power supply? No, it is not. My other one. First things first, I want to know if it's working. If it does anything before I do any dismantling or cleaning or anything like that. Unceremoniously plug it in and see what happens. First, I need to release this zip tie. Grab the postcard. And from VGA. Power cable. And we'll see what happens, if anything. Some of these might be power. There we go. We have spinny. We have lights. We have numbers. This board is the GAM78SM-S2H, and it is an AM2 Plus compatible board. And it posts and boots. That was easy. Right, I need a keyboard. And I need to bring the camera back down again. Right. What do we have? I have no idea. Where is it? In this BIOS. Got 4 gig of RAM. I don't see anything in here that says what it was. Get ready on the pause button. Phenom 9750 quad core. Ooh, nice. Quad core AMD. That's a nice chip. DDR2 800, unganged mode, 64-bit. My most powerful AMD system so far. I'm going to ignore you in a minute, Carrot House. Got an AM, that's a RAID on it. That's a nice little system, that. If I can get some better visuals for you of the board. This is certainly worth cleaning up, this one. Not that it's particularly dirty, but the heatsink is rather dusty and will no doubt need some new heatsink paste on that. But the thing I love most about this board is the fact that it has purple SATA ports. I don't think I've ever seen a board, well, I have seen, but I've never actually owned a board that's had purple SATA ports. I think those are on the RAID chip, the RAID interface on there, and the other 4 are direct in the BIOS. It certainly has plenty of connectors. We've got 6 SATA. There are 4 USB headers on the board there. Actually, I looked up the specs on this board earlier. What was it again? It was the 7 8 each. With good old Gigabyte, I've still got all the details about it. It's the NVIDIA Luminex engine on it. Specification. NVIDIA GeForce 8200 chipset. Realtek audio. Gigabit LAN. That's a pretty decent little board, that. I'm impressed with it. Let's go back to the desk. So what have we got? We've got 6 SATA. We've got 4 USB connectors internally. I don't think I've seen one with that many internally before. Floppy drive, on port, IDE. On the back, we've got the usual keyboard, USB 1, parallel, HDMI, DVI, VGA, USB 2, gigabit audio, and that's not going to be composite, is it? Is that going to be a digital audio? Yes, I already checked over the caps before I plugged anything in. There's a few electrolytics around here and around here, but the majority of the ones around the VRM, look at those. Beautiful caps. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to do anything nasty. It is going to be digital audio. I thought so, yeah. It was orange. It sort of shouted audio to me. Yeah, before I put this to bed, I think I shall clean out the heatsink and repaste it. That'll only take a moment or two. Oh yes, that's very crusty. Nice heatsink though, with the copper pipes. Right, where's my IPA gone? There we go, the AMD Phenom. My magnifier out. HD 9750XAJ4BGH. Copyright 2006. One side. Give this a quick squirt. Now, can I get the fan off this? Should be able to. Four clips around the edge. Should lift off this shroud. Takes the fan with it. Oh, look at those dust bunnies. Where's that? Gone. There it is. See how good the noise cancellation is now. That sucked up the worst of it. Now, switch to the other end. Blow it all out. Oh, that's fussy. I don't think the noise cancellation cancelled that, did it? I could see the VUs jumping around. That is a lot cleaner now, though. You can see right down inside it. Now for the fan. What have I just done with the blower attachment? I just put it down and it disappeared. Oh, there it is. There we go. One spotlessly clean fan. A little bit on here now. This shroud. And I think we're ready to rebuild. Right, which way did it go? MD logo outwards. Those on those pins. That's way around. And clip. And now a small amount of heatsink paste. The nozzle off this, it's not coming out. There's an amount. Bit of a spread around. Everyone has their own way of doing this, and everyone's way is wrong to somebody else. That'll do. That's good enough. The point of the heatsink compound is not to going on with this is not to form a barrier between the IHS and the heatsink, but instead to fill any gaps between the two. Going on with the clip on this, it's all got misaligned. I'm going to have to redo it. I tend to put too much thermal paste on, and then half of it ends up stuck on the spreader as I spread it around. There we go. Got the hook part of it there trapped underneath the shroud there. Okay, let's pop this back on. Yeah, normally I use a divider from a plastic tray container thing, but I don't have one to hand at the moment. Oh, here's one. Yeah. This is what I'd normally use, but I couldn't be bothered to find it. But I might just quickly pop this off and do it now properly. What I'd normally use. It gives much. There we go. That's better. Nice and flexible. There's a nice thin layer then. There. It's not exactly going to get heavy usage, so and I'm certainly not going to be doing silly things like overclocking. If it was a 13900K being overclocked, I think I would certainly pay a bit more attention to the thermal paste, along with the water cooling and the. But for this, no. No, and neither am I going to use gallium or whatever it is, that liquid metal, to fill it up with. Let's just make sure I haven't killed it. Gone. There it is. Right, it is right over there. Spinning up. It's almost silent, this fan. I can hardly hear it. Grab this little board. Turn it off the back. Power into there. Stretch that round. Plug it in. Will it work? Go into there. And oh, not the keyboard plugged in. Earlier AMD. That's the AMD Athlon. Which one is it? Athlon 2400. No IHS. Raw silicon. Windows protection error. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's what I happen to have to hand in my test bench. More than 768 meg of RAM. It's not going to like it in the slightest. But it boots, or begins to boot. Turn off now. Yep. Yeah, I will call that a nice score. And I'm tempted to use it to upgrade my Athlon X2. Possibly. much in the way of slots, but don't think I'm using any. I'm using one slot in my X2 at the moment, I think, just for the graphics card. So yeah, I might upgrade my X2 with this one instead, possibly. Double the speed then. 4 cores instead of 2. And it is a nice board, that. Or should I build an entirely new system with it? I haven't got a spare case to put it in, that's the problem. I'm torn. Do I make a separate system? Do I upgrade? I'll leave that decision for another day. For now, it can sit on the shelf. Well, no, I've got the NAS already, which is an i5 37, yeah, 3470 or something, which is more than powerful enough for a NAS. I think I'm going to go and play Zork on my Palm, I think, for a while. Get myself a cup of tea. I've got a drink here. What am I on about? Need to hydrate. Right. I think that's a fairly successful evening of tinkering there. Well, yes. It's already got 4 gig in, which is the most that XP 32-bit can cope with. No, I don't think it. Would the Phenom take more? What's the board's maximum? Supporting up to 8. Yeah, it'll support up to 8 gig, that board. So I'd need 2 4 gigs. I might have some memory, some 4 gig sticks kicking around for it. Possibly it's DDR2. I'm not sure if I have or not. Where's my memory box? Well, I've got in the way of DDR2. Have a quick flick through. If I could take it up to 8 gig, it would be nice. 2 gigabyte. 2 gigabyte. 2 gigabyte. 256 megabyte. 1 gigabyte. 1 gigabyte. 2 gigabyte. 1 gigabyte. 1 gigabyte. For 1. 2 gigabyte. 256. 1 gigabyte. 1 gigabyte. No, 1s and 2s are all I've got there. You can never have too much memory. Four gig is the most I can get into that board because it's only got 2 slots. So 4 gig is plenty. It'll end up running on an XP system probably. So Yeah, there's no need for any more than 4 gig. Yeah, gaming XP system definitely. I'd like to see how well Operation Flashpoint would fly on that. It's fast enough already on the X2 there, but it'd be even better on there. Right, I think I am going to finish off here. Where's my outro? Here's my outro. Right, that was a pretty successful evening all round. I think everything I set out to do I did, and found extra things to do, like cleaning that awful battery gunge out of that modem. So yes, I have the fully working Palm now with the keyboard modem, which I've not been able to test yet, but one day I'll set up a test fake phone system. So that's a good system now, and this rather nice AMD Phenom and board, which is going to be a stonking XP system. I am really chuffed with that. So yes, I think I will upgrade my current AMD system to use this one instead. I think that would make sense. Yes, that has been a fun evening, and thank you very much for joining me. And yes, I shall be going to play Zork on my Palm. I've never managed to get very far in Zork, always get lost. So yes, thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed this, you might want to follow for notifications of when I stream next, which should be... which day are we on now? We're on Thursday now, aren't we? So it'll be next Monday at 7 PM British summertime. Yeah, no idea what I'll be doing. I never know what I'm doing until 5 minutes before I start, sometimes not even then. If you really enjoy this channel, you can support me by signing up on Patreon. You'll get your name in lights down in that scroller there, and early access to any videos I make, which aren't many, but I do create the odd one or two. Yeah, you'll also find me on YouTube and Discord, and just generally around the place. And I shall see you all hopefully on Monday, and maybe even before then on the Tech Tangents channel, who you should really follow if you don't already. Right, well, thank you again for joining me, and I shall see you on Monday.